Please be seated. On some of the Sundays leading up to our parish auction, we like to highlight the ministries that are going to be supported through our paddleways. We have a paddleways in the middle of the auction for social ministries outside of our parish here in the community. And we had a few weeks ago, we heard from our own John Lennox about the work of Potluck in the Park, which we've long supported. But we also are going to support this year a ministry that's new to some of us, and that's called Shepherd's Door. And I was so excited when I found out that the Sunday we could arrange for Stacy to be here with us and talk about it. We got the gospel of the Good Samaritan. Because if ever there was a ministry that shows what it's like to be willing to walk to the other side of the street and risk, it's their work. But she talks powerfully about that, so I will shut up and leave them up to her.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks. My name is Stacy. I am the program manager at Shepherd's Door. So I'm first going to tell you a little bit about the Portland Rescue Mission. If you're not familiar with the Portland Rescue Mission, we are actually the largest mission in this area. We work with homeless, we work with people in recovery. So we have our downtown shelter, the Burnside Mission, which does what we call it is kind of like the triage, the emergency care for those that are in our community that are homeless. We have food multiple times during each day. We have anywhere, depending on the weather, 200 beds for men. So emergency shelter for every night. A lot of times when the weather's really bad, we move furniture out of the way down there, and we toss mats on the floor so that they have a safe, warm place to sleep in the particularly colder weather. We also have, at the Burnside Mission downtown, we have what's called our Connect program. It's for people that are just struggling with finding a job, finding housing. A lot of times they're kind of in the waiting period of their housing coming up or a job. And so they can live there in our facility. We have a men's recovery Connect program and a women's. And it's about 6 months that they can stay there, kind of while they're trying just to navigate what are my next steps. Then we also have what is called Shepherd's Door and the Harbor, and they are our year-long in-house where the residents come and live for anywhere between a year and almost 2 years. So those people primarily are working on recovering from addiction, but I'm also going to tell you that addiction can come in a bunch of different forms. So it can come in addictions from relationships, it can come in addictions from drugs and alcohol, gambling. There's so many things. So the foundation of our program, what I tell people is, we are a discipleship program with an emphasis on recovery. So we have a lot of people that enter our facility that don't believe in God, don't believe in Jesus, have never even heard anything about who that is. And they'll say, well, can we come in? And I say, yes, but be prepared because you're going to get a whole lot of Jesus. So I promise you, he is going to pursue you. What you do with that is what you do with it. But so we welcome anybody, different faiths, because what I know to be true is Jesus can get them. He can win them over. You are immersed in that and him relentlessly pursuing you. And how can you not? How can you not turn to Jesus? So, like I said, we're a year-long recovery facility. We have anywhere between, our capacity is 42 women. So some of those come that don't have kids, and a lot of them do have kids, and we can have anywhere between 25 and 30 kids living on site as well. So as you can imagine, super busy place, super crazy place. But so, I mean, it's just, you walk in the building and you go, oh, Jesus is here. He's here. He is moving, he is working, he is living in there, and it is just this tremendous place to be. I was going to just kind of tell you about who's our population. Who do we get that lives in our house? So we get a lot of ladies from jail or prison. Amazingly, what I just still continue to marvel, and I don't know why I continue to marvel about this, because it's God working, but court systems, judges, lawyers say, go to Shepherd's Door. Go there. And a lot of times what they'll say is, if you finish the program, we will wipe away your sentence. If you do this program successfully, this big prison sentence that you have hanging over you, it's going to go away. We have had ladies work through our program successfully that have had 6, 8, 10-year prison sentences hanging over them, and when they complete the program, it is wiped away. That is how much some places, judges believe in our program. We also get a lot of moms looking to reunify with their kiddos. So moms that have their kids in DHS, and they will come here, they will come to Shepherd's Door because DHS workers, judges that work with kids will say, I guarantee you, if you complete this program, you will get your kids back. We have never I've been at Shepherd's Door 3 years. We have never, in the 3 years I've been there, not had a mom be reunified with their kids from DHS when they finish this when they finish Shepherd's Door. It is amazing. But on the flip side, we are super, super tough. A lot of people don't want to do our program because we are really pretty strict. We don't allow we allow virtually no television. We limit their computer use. They're not allowed cell phones. They're not allowed relationships. They're not allowed to smoke cigarettes. So basically, we take away anything that could potentially be a distraction from them, that could stop them from learning and growing and just figuring out, why have I been doing the things that are harmful to me, and how can I change that? Our program is based on 4 phases. I only put 3 fingers up, but really it's 4 phases. Our first phase, and each one is a 3-month increment. One of my favorite things about how we've designed this program is that we do benchmarks along the year, opportunities for these ladies to succeed, to realize that they can do this, realize that they can, this can work, this can stick. Most of them have never finished school. A lot of them haven't even, not even high school. Most of them have left school when they were in middle school. So we give them the opportunity every 3 months we have a celebration. We let them speak in front of the community, tell the community how they've grown. The community gets to speak into them and tell them how they've seen them change. We give them a gift every time they phase up into a new one, just as a way to say, man, you can do this. And most of them have never had success. I think it's hard for us to fathom really how little belief they have in themselves and in life. So these give them the opportunities just to celebrate a little bit. So our first phase is what's called truth, and it's basically learning what's the truth of who I've been, but more importantly, what's the truth of who I can be? Who does Jesus see me to be? And then our second phase is called acceptance. It is it's definitely the hardest phase that we have, because they have to learn, they have to figure out how to accept the things that they've done in the past, which is a lot. It's a lot of bad, icky, unhealthy things. But in order to have real growth, in order to have real transformational change, they have to learn to accept that and kind of figure out how do I put that so that I don't keep carrying it. How can I look at it and then I can lay it down? Because Jesus never meant for them to carry it. They've just been lugging that stuff along with them, and it's dragging them down. And they also have to learn to accept the truth of what God tells them about who they are. And I find that that is the hardest thing for them to do. They can learn to lay down some of their guilt and shame, but this Bible, what these words are, can that be for me? Because it can be, I believe it can be for this person over here, but can it really be for me? It can, and it's learning to not just accept it, but own it, live in that truth. Then our third phase is freedom, which is, okay, how do I walk in the freedom of who I've become and not allow the enemy to keep pulling me back, not allow those lies to keep pulling me back. And then our last phase is what's called purpose, and it's, okay, now what do? I've spent all this time, I've spent almost a year digging stuff out, looking at things, figuring out this. So now, how do I live my life in God's will and not my will anymore? And it's figuring out, what do you want to do as a job? What do you want to do? Do you want to go back to school? Do you have a career in mind? And then we spend the end of the program really trying to set them up for maximum success. Lots of vocational skills. Our vocation is what we basically call work. So we help them get certifications, we help them get trainings, we help them experience other jobs so that we can help them be the best prepared they can when they leave our facility. We have chapel once a week in our in-house. We have Bible studies come in. We require the ladies to attend a church once a week, attend a Bible study once a week, serve at their church. They have to get a spiritual mentor. They have to get a recovery mentor. They have to attend recovery meetings. So we have great classes. We do a lot on relationships. We have a faith-based recovery program that's basically a year long. Because of all of this is just, so we study our ladies 5 years after graduation, and we have an 81% success rate 5 years down the line of ladies that are still working in housing, clean and sober, and if they're a mama, they still have their kiddos with them as well. Which, if you know anything about recovery, most programs average in the 15 to 20% success rate. One of the reasons why most programs don't believe in honest, deep, genuine transformation. And we do. We live that. We know that transformation can happen when you do it on the foundation of Jesus Christ. And that belief that miracles happen every day, and it doesn't necessarily part the Red Sea. Miracles happen, and a lot of people in our world of dealing with recovery and dealing with such broken women, it's like they just lose faith that it can really, really be different. And we walk every single day without a doubt knowing that it can be different, that lives can be transformed. I've seen it so many times, and I just think that's the difference between, I think that's the difference between most recovery programs and our recovery program is, we know with Jesus, the sky's the limit. Anything can happen. I think often people ask me how I ended up in doing what I'm doing. Because I used to be even just a few years ago, I was a teacher at a small Christian school. And now I run this big, crazy, wild place. And I just know that at the end of the day, that's where Jesus would be if he was here. He would be there because he tells us, walk across the street, step into what's uncomfortable, And not everybody has to work at Shepherd's Door. Some people are willing to step out and go, you know what? We're going to support feeling like I'm beating my head against the wall, a lot of crying, a lot of yelling, not me, them. And because if you heard these women's stories, if you knew what they have been through, the fact that they can get up and do this program because somewhere inside of them, they get to this place where they're like, I cannot do this anymore. And I am gonna do whatever it takes, because even if it's just this little tiny flicker inside of them, they believe maybe, just maybe, it could be different. And the strength and the courage that those women show by doing that is awe-inspiring to me. So I just wanted to end with a story about one of the ladies that just recently graduated the program. I always get emotional when I talk about this. So she had been using or drinking or something since she was 9 years old to mask, to cover up the pain of her home. Her mom was severely mentally unstable, was very abusive to them, moved them around a lot, was mentally abusive, physically abusive, so that's how she coped. That's all she knew, because that was how she got through every day, just doing that. When she first came into our program, she couldn't even work in the kitchen because she had all these traumas that had happened in the kitchen, and that was one of the things that we slowly started to work on was, okay, help her with, that. She didn't have a relationship with a couple of her kids. She'd been on the streets. She actually ended up in our facility because she had just been severely beaten by her significant other, so much that he ended up going to prison for it. So on a whim, no faith in Jesus, no belief in anything, decided to come into our program. And it was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, prayer, discussions, and recently, about 7 months ago, she graduated our program. She, in that time, rebuilt a relationship with her kids that she didn't have any contact with, has been clean and sober for the whole entire time she's been in our program. She ended up doing a 6-month internship with the mission, and recently finished that and is out. She's working. She's still at Shepherd's Door saving money, but has a place to go, has this great relationship with her kids, and most importantly, she was probably one of the hardest people that I've ever had to work with on her learning her faith, because she doubted it, everything, because she had every reason to doubt it. She used to say, I prayed, Stacy, and I prayed and I didn't, where was God in that? I was like, oh, he was right there with you. He was right there with you. And now, probably one of the women that has the strongest faith of anybody that I know, because she knows he saved her, and she is literally a transformed person because of Jesus. Not because of anything else, because of that, first and foremost. And when I talk to her now, and sometimes I go, wow, she's bold for Jesus, she's outspoken, she's serving in her church, she goes downtown sometimes and talks to people on the street about, hey, things can be different, I promise you. So, talks to them about the mission, and when I first got her, she wouldn't even look you in the eye. She wouldn't even look up and look you in the eye, because she just was so broken. She's rebuilt relationship with a lot of people in her family, and she walks in the light of who she is in Jesus Christ. That's what this is all about. We've now changed her history, her kids' history, her kids' kids' history, and she, with the help of God, broke a generational pattern that is so hard to break. And eventually down the line, her grandkids are never going to know on health. They'll never know this, and she did that. It is amazing. It is the most painful, glorious fantastic, gut-wrenching place to work. And I just want to say thank you for being willing to step into this mission with us, this belief that people can change and things can be different.